welcome back. I'm here again today for another quick video. So as you saw in my last video, I made a French house song. So today I just want to go through a new project where I have created kind of like a system to actually find samples and make good French house using the system. And I'm going to give it to you for free. Okay, so let's have a look here in Ableton. So first thing I did was that I set up a drum group. This is critical, this is important. So when, say like you're doing this for your process and you want to make French house using whatever sample you want, I think a lot of people struggle to find like a sample that they want to use. And I've come up with a method in which you can find them a lot more easier than say, usually whatever you do, okay? English. So let's have a look here. So the first thing I did was I built this drum. I built like a little bit of a drum group. So I built this. Okay, just like your standard drum beat. So you got like this in the background. It's kind of like a percussion loop. I've got it going just as it is. That's fine. So I got a kick here. I got it EQ'd. I got that kick EQ'd so that I'm cutting out like the high end of that kick. So it's a little bit more bassy. I'm saturating it like a little bit, but that's okay. Come back over here to the hi-hats. Just a classic 909 hi-hat. And then I have a clap here instead of a snare. And you can kind of see I've got like a EQ'd. Got a little reverb on it. Oh, so I got this. Right, okay, nice and easy. Now, this is what I did next. Yeah. So this is the idea. You wanna make that first little group, and then you just wanna go Command D, Command D, Command D, Command D for life. Do that, and then you go boom. And then you just repeat that over and over again. Command D, okay? That's how you duplicate that exact same time again. Oh, another thing as well, you want to build it around, say like 132, 128. The French house genre usually sticks around, usually from like the 125 to the 134, sometimes 136, but 132 is kind of like a nice spot. It's a little bit faster than 128, and it kind of feels nice. Next, you need to set up the track that you're going to put your sample on. The way that you start this, all you have to do is you just create an audio track. You can do this in your DAW as well. This is kind of like to give you an idea of like what you can add to the track to kind of build on it. So first off, I start with an EQ. So all I'm doing is I'm cutting off the rough ends there. I've got the high, boosting the highs a little bit. Now, boosting the highs is a little bit critical. It's one of the important things in this genre because you want it to be like grainy. You want to emphasize the graininess of the sample. Usually, and we'll talk a bit more about the sampling in a second, but I'll just go through this first. Then I've got a OTT. OTT again, it's a compressor. It's going, it's giving it like massive punch. It's like squishing that fly, and it's like rest in peace fly. And we're just dialing it back a little bit, pulling the amount back. Kind of gives it a nice touch, a nice compression touch. And then I've got this Redux. The Redux is kind of making it pixelated again, like I said in the last video. Adds more a bit like of a grainy texture to it. Like it makes it sound like a little bit old. Daft Punk's Short Circuit. They use it in that. They use that. This isn't like as hard as that song goes. Like it just goes, just bit crushes it, right? Next I have a flanger, Ned Flanders, whatever, dude. So we got a flanger. Now what this flanger is doing is it's kind of making it sound like it's going through like like a fan, like the spinny fan thing. So and you're just like in the thing like like making the weird funny noises. That's kind of what this is doing, but a flanger is a little bit different. I forgot what it actually is. I think it's like a delay. It's a delay. It's like a delayed fan kind of thing, bro. I don't know. That's how I can describe it. Now, this here is the most critical part again. Like I said in the last video, it's all about the pump. You want that compressor kick to be pushing it down. That's what you want, right? You want that. This goes to the end of the chain because it's after all the effects and after all the processing, right? It's just pushing everything else down. I've got some other things here as well. I don't use reverb, auto filter, reverb, another auto filter, whatever. Now, next, when you're using Ableton is a godsend. I don't know about I don't know about other DAWs, especially Logic. I don't know anything about that. I recently figured this out. I got another shout out to my mate PX1 who showed me this absolutely crucial shortcut. You just go Command and then you go comma, and then you get the settings. Blew my mind when I found out. Like, that's insane. Props to PX1, dude. Stream Salted Salute now on Spotify. Okay. You need to select a certain setting when you drag your sample from outside the DAW into the software. You need to have this enabled. You want to go to here, record, warp, and launch, and you want to have a look down here. So I'm using Ableton Live 12 as well, just so you know. And come down, and then you want to select this option here, auto warp long samples on. You want that. The reason why is because it will line up your sample automatically to the BPM that you have set in the project. That's why you have to set the BPM in the project before you drag the sample in. So you want this on. Otherwise, you will have a nightmare having to try and figure out the tempo of the original song and then finding out the tempo of this, and going through the whole process. If you've done this before in Ableton, you've probably known that. Like, this setting will change your life. Let me just say that. It will change the entire flow of your workflow. And it saves so much time. I feel like the algorithm in Ableton has gotten so much better at warping the samples as well. Next, so you've dragged your sample into the project. That's good. So, and you've also set up the drum here as well. Now, all you have to do is drag your samples into here. That's all you have to do. So now that you've dragged your sample into the software, you just go down here and you'll see it's been warped to the BPM that you have. Now, the next thing, to avoid copyright infringement, you want to change the pitch. Okay, I found that using beats and just pitching it down, say like to -2, works well. Or -2 is like a good, like, it's nice. It's not too low, it's not too high. You could also go up to like +2 or whatever, -2, whatever. Right? It sounds nice. You've got all the effects going on and everything. You have that song there, and then once you've set the pitch and it's all lined up correctly because you changed the setting on Ableton, all you have to do is this, and look at this. Right, that's all you have to do. That's how easy it is. Now, so I've gone through and I've done 20 minutes. I've just dragged in like hundreds of songs. I basically created a system in which I can create samples and find samples effectively as fast as possible. So let's go through this. I'll play this. So this is a song by our good old mate Phil Collins. So the original song, it matched it to 128.96 and it's playing 132. It works. And I just went through the sample. I'm just like, okay, like that first one sounds good, so let me just do that and do the Command D or whatever, right? So I did that for this. And then, you experiment. You go through the whole song and you find different things that sound nice, one after the other. And so I came up with this. Like, so I kind of like left that, like, the whole thing. I didn't want to cut it up because, like, that sounds so good because, like, it's matched to that BPM and I've got the drums in the background. So the possibilities are endless, right? You just drag your song in and then you just have the drums play over it or whatever, right? And you've made magic, right? That's how easy this is. I've done this with like 5 different songs, whatever. Absolutely crazy. This is my favorite one. So Earth, Wind, Fire, they did a song called Fantasy, and it has like it's like nice, but like it's a bit slow. So obviously sped up, it actually sounds pretty good. And with this, what I did was I chopped it up. I chopped up different parts from the end of the song, and I created this. So let me just mute this original one. And as you can see, what you can do is, like I did with the other video, you just create a separate track, you duplicate the exact same settings, whatever. and I created an extra duplicate, and this track is accentuating the bass. It's just the bass. It's the same kind of idea. Now I'll play it first, and then I'll do a little more talk. Right? And then you loop it. The repetition, dude. The repetition. It's magic. Like, it's literally, you're giving life to the old song. You know, you're bringing out the best parts of that old song. You're doing something creative with it, right? You're resampling it. See, the original BPM, 79.48. Ableton's like, I'm a genius, and I'm going to be like, bada bing, bada boom, you know, like, we're cooking the algorithm or whatever. And bang, like, it's lined up to the grid. Insane. And you just play around with what goes before and after each other. Now, another thing I'll talk about, the issue with making it like this, the only drawback is that, as you saw with, say, like this one, the Phil Collins song, you saw this, you see how good it sounds just by itself, and like without doing the chopping up or whatever. That's probably the only drawback, is that you get so like, you like the song so much to this like kick or whatever. You liked it with the drums so much that you're just like, I'll just leave it, you know. You just let it do its thing. That's the only drawback, cause, and you probably feel less inclined to be a bit more creative with the sample, right? So let's go here. I'm moving out, and I'm moving out. Right, and so we got this. So this is what I was talking about, the problem, right? I've just let this play out. I've just let it play out because it sounds so good. I've obviously repitched it again. And what else we got? No, it's terrible. So I couldn't really find a sample in here. I kind of just went on, let's see it again. Like, it's just like, because like, it sounds so good. I don't know, I feel like there's something there. I probably need to do a bit more work on that one. So let's keep going through. Oh, this one. Okay, here's another song. So let's talk a little bit more about like the limitation of doing this. The limitation is in that some of these songs, so these are like older songs, right? The limitation, say with this song, you know this song. You know this song. It's a good one, right? It has like 5,000 key changes in it. I'm not even exaggerating. They're just like, hey, let's make a song and let's put as many key changes as possible as we can into this. So with this, you have to think outside of the box with those kinds of songs. I have to be like, oh, bro, like this is jazz, bro. Like I just put like 5,000 chord changes in my song. Like, bro, we're in A sharp and then we go to E sharp, bro. That's crazy. That's my favorite chord, E sharp, bro. Okay, so we've got this, right? Play that. And then I'm just going to play this because I just found a section of the song and I chopped that section of the song up rather than having to go through it. -3 from what it is, 132. Let's have a look. So originally 118, and they look like that guy's like, hey, like, you know, we're in. And watch this. Right? It sounds so nice. Like this song as well, like has like, it's like a nice breeze, you know, like it's just like it flows. And then what can I do as a producer? You know, I just enhance that flow. You enhance the flow and you find it. And it's just experimenting. That's the biggest thing with this, is people are probably like, oh bro, like Daft Punk just like absolutely geniuses, bro. Like they created a massive library of like samples and all that. And like sure, they did exactly this. But this is like, say, like a modern version of doing it without having to do all the bro, I'm gonna record the vinyl, bro. Like I'm gonna put my stuff in the vinyl. The way I got these songs is YouTube has a nice feature where you can just copy and paste a link, and then it's just like we'll download it for free. Like no demonetization, please. Add this song. Another thing as well, John Hall and Art Muesli Bar songs, like they're good songs as well for this. It's like Private Eyes, good song. Right? Yeah, what else have I got? Nah, it's terrible. And we got. So another thing as well is that not every sample you find is going to be like the best thing in the world. See, look at this. Like, I made stuff in this, and like it doesn't really have that bounce, doesn't really have that effort. It's more, I find, making this genre. It's more just like about. It's more about. Oh, sorry. Trial and error. Trial and error. That's all it is. It's just trial and error until you find something that sounds good. Now, I want to talk a little bit about this next one that I did. This one blew my mind when I made it. I'm just like, why does it work so well? So you can already see, you already know. Official HD video, like original's 90.76 BPM. Okay, matched it there, perfect, done. Watch this. What I wanted to do with this song is I found there's like a drum break in the song before like the main chorus, and it sounded pretty cool. Like it sounded, rather than say like grabbing like the marimba part in like the main part of the song that everyone recognizes, grab a part of the song that no one really recognizes. So I have that repeating, which kind of like leads into like the main like na, 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 and then we got this here. I'm gonna let this repeat a few times, and like this is magic. I swear. Like, watch this. All this is a technique. Let's go through this. So with this is just a technique. I'm gonna call it the push and pull technique. You have your first sample, right? That's kind of like pushing. It's pushing. Then we're pulling it back. Right? That's all that is. Push and pull, and you just repeat that over and over again, and it works. This is just a technique, okay? Just a technique that I did with this. Is just like having the same repetition over and over again, and then you kind of like pull it back, right? And you create magic like that. Never would have ever thought that you could make something like this out of this song. Issue is like this song was so popular, like this loop would never, that I make, will probably never ever be released. Unless I magically get $10 billion and I'm just like, hey, Toto, you guys, can you, let me, have your sample, please? Like, I'll give you all the royalties, like, the world don't work like that, okay? So that's that, right? And again, this is kind of like the 80s, 70s pop songs, whatever, that have like a lot of disco elements in it. Those are kind of like the songs that work well for making this. I've got two more. That I'm going to show you. Two more that I'll show you. This is kind of funny. So yeah, like watch this. Yeah, I don't know. It's just mixing up that, right? Because like, it's so iconic. The start of it, So just do something different. Just have like the just repeating. That's funny, but like it kind of works. I think. Okay, I did another song here. I couldn't find anything good in this one. This is one of like the rejects, right? Come over here. Oh yeah. So again, the John Hall and Oat Muesli Bar song, right? You got that. You got that. Kind of like creates some weird things with like the vocals as well, because with the Ableton Beat Warp, it kind of messes up like the vocals a little bit in like with the artifacts, whatever. I can go through it in another video. Then I found this. So it's another thing as well, when you put a song into the project, using like this method, see, this is what the auto warp does if it's say like in free time. A lot of those like 70s, 80s songs are in free time. So when you drag it in, it'll just auto warp to this, okay? And you can hear it like there's like artifacts, right? You can hear the vocal here. You can hear the vocals like all chopped up and all cooked, but like it gives you an effect, you know? It gives you like a nice effect. So I created this. Okay, because that section of the song is like, it's cool, right? It's like right, look at this. And then yeah, well, all I did with this is like I took that part and just like copied and pasted it like into there, and it actually works as like a going back down. Da-na-na. So you're pulling back to the start, right? Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there for today. So I have ideas to make it easier for you guys and how you can make it. I'm gonna build some build samples and everything that I can give to you as like a resource, and some more things with Ableton. So I'll probably go through another like look through of like this as well later in the future, and I'll have it all for free on my Patreon. Like the resources all for free on Patreon. Easy. So yeah, that's pretty much everything today. Hopefully, you know, I've been able to help you today, kind of like give you a bit more of an idea of how you can make it like this. Using Ableton is kind of like is nice because you just hit the auto warp. I don't know anything about any other DAWs. I've just used this one for ages. Too long, right? I've used it for too long. Another thing as well, like the possibilities are endless. They're, like I said, they're literally endless. Like instead of a flanger, you can have a phaser, right? You can have a doubler, you can get rid of the redux, you know, you can add reverb to it, you can change the pitch of the sample, you can change the drums. You know, the drums aren't limited to just this kind of thing. Let me know in the comments if there is one of these song ideas that you want me to make first. Because I've just shown you like, what, 5, 6 ideas. Which one do you want me to make first? Which one will be pretty cool to make like as a full track? Because like, I have a lot of ideas, and this process as well is very easy, as you saw, and it's just, you know, give it a go, you know, and like reach out to me and be like, hey, like I made this, like do you have any advice or anything? And like, yeah, I'll give you advice, you know, it's chill. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video.